are you? Today is February 28th, and I'm Father Chiu, and this is a brand new ministry that I'm starting online, on YouTube that is, and I hope everyone would enjoy my ministry and learn more about God through this humble ministry. And okay, so I'll be your speaker. My name is Father Chiu. Anyway, today let's learn the basics of the Bible, okay? Today we're going to learn about the Ten Commandments. Forget about Ten Commandments. Just learn the top three, okay? The first three commandments. At Mount Sinai, lots of people, the story goes in Exodus, near chapter 20, okay? In Mount Sinai, after Moses brought people out of Egypt, people were complaining about this and complaining about that. And then when Moses said, okay, God say this, you guys have to listen. And some people would say, hey, how do we know that your words are really the words of God? How do we know that you didn't make this stuff up? Maybe, you're just making things up as you go along. And Moses said, okay, you know what? Come near Mount Sinai. Just come near. Come to the base of the mountain, okay? I'm going to let you speak to God yourself. God is going to speak to everyone, and people will hear God's words, right? So, okay, people gathered at the base of Mount Sinai, then all of a sudden, wow, people see lightning and thunder, and then there's storm, and then the sky turned dark, and then people realize God is basically speaking to the people. And then God said through Moses, okay, first commandment is, I'm the only God. There shall be no other God before me. Okay, He's the only God. Second commandment is basically, you shall not carve yourself in a wooden image. You shall not carve an image on a piece of wood or on stone. The image cannot be anything from the ocean, from the sky, or from the land. And the third commandment is, thou shalt not use God's name in vain. Meaning you cannot say something about God and you don't mean it, okay? So forget about the other commandments. Let's just focus on these three commandments, okay? When Jesus Christ came 2,000 years ago, He tells everybody He's the Son of God. Can He do that? Is He allowed to tell people that He's Son of God? I say no. No, Jesus has no right to tell people that He's Son of God. He cannot say that. When He said that, He sinned. He violated the first commandment, okay? The reason is very simple. God, in the first commandment, God already told people, okay? And God already told people. This is not the word of Moses, okay? Moses tell everyone to gather around the base of Mount Sinai. And then God commanded thunder and wind and turned the sky dark, so people know that these Ten Commandments that came directly from God. Although it spoke through Moses, but then God was reacting. It's basically, God is like giving people a laser light show, when Moses is presenting these Ten Commandments. So first commandment say, there's only one God. You shall not have any other God before me. So can Jesus qualify as a God? No. Jesus is not a God. He's a man. How can He tell people He's God? The reason is, if He say, I'm the Son of God, okay, then, so you are the Son of God, then, so this means God also has a father and a mother, right? So, what is God's name? Your name is Jesus. That makes you a God because you're a Son of God. Then, does God have a name? What is His name? What about His father and mother? What about God's father and mother? Aren't they also gods? What about if God has a wife, right? Does God have a brother or a cousin or a daughter? The Greek gods, Zeus, he's the god of thunder, right? He's the most famous god. But he's not the only god. The reason is because Zeus has a son, and his name is Ares, and he's the god of war. So basically, if you are at war, you're a general, you're fighting somebody else, okay, you have to pray to Ares, not Zeus. If you pray to Zeus, you pray to the wrong person, you could lose the battle, okay? And Zeus also has a wife. Zeus has daughters. He has brothers. He has cousins. All of them are gods. Every one of them is a god. Every one of them is a god. Okay? So, the first commandment, God told you. God told everybody, I'm the only God. Okay, there's no other God before me. I am the only God. What does that mean? That means I ain't got no son, I ain't got no daughter, I ain't got no wife, okay? I ain't got no brother. I'm the only one. I am that I am. Okay? God told people, okay? I am the beginning, I am the end, I am Alpha, and I am Omega, right? I am the first, and I am the last. That means he's the only one, okay? There is no other God before him. So how can a person like Jesus, a man, come along and say, I'm also God because my Father is God. I'm the Son of God. That makes two gods now, right? Doesn't that make two gods? So didn't Jesus violate the first commandment outright? And second commandment, it's also second commandment. God said, "You shall not image. You shall not worship an image that's carved out of wood nor stone." Okay, and the image cannot represent anything that you find on land or in the air or in the sea. So, what about a dead man on the cross? Dead Jesus on the cross. Isn't that an image? Don't a lot of people carry that? A lot of people wear necklaces, made out of metal or whatever, made out of plastic, whatever. They wear these a dead man on a cross necklaces. And then when you go to a church, let's say you go to a church, don't every church have a cross with a dead man on the center of it? Like probably in the middle of the church they have that. The cross was a dead man in it. Isn't that an image? Didn't God say you should not worship an image, carve out of stone or wood? Just because, no, it's not an image. We painted it. We painted Jesus on canvas. So it's like a painting. No, that doesn't count. No, of course it counts. You cannot worship any image found on land, in sea, or in the air. Okay? And the third commandment, you shall not use God's name in vain. When Jesus walked the earth, what did he do? He tell people, I'm the Son of God. I'm the Son of God. Bow down to me. You bow down to me, I guarantee you a first-class ticket to heaven. Now, he violated the third commandment right there, okay? He should not use God's name in vain. Okay? He's not, he already violated the two commandments, and now he violated the third commandment. So, so why should you believe in this guy Jesus? I just don't understand it. Why do you believe in this guy Jesus? You might as well just believe in God and forget about Jesus. The correct way to read the Bible, okay, is to, when you see the name Jesus, just cross it out, or just tear off the page and throw it away. Okay? This Bible is perfect without Jesus in it. That's all I want to say. Well, thank you for joining our ministry. I'll see you next chapter. Thank you.